Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
While most of us can hold our head up high and be proud of the way we run our business, it's the dodgy operators and snake oil salespeople that can make it tough for legitimate, hard-working business owners. From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. Making bad deals and selling to vulnerable people has got to stop, says sales expert Sue Barrett, because the bad behaviour of some is tarnishing the whole profession. To reclaim what she calls the true essence of selling, Sue has launched a Selling Better Manifesto with guiding principles to help everyone understand that there are better ways to do business. So, what's driven this very principled call to action? Sue Barrett explains more to Heather Dawson.
We've decided to make a stand, and it's our call to action to actually reclaim and practice the true essence of selling for a sustainable and prosperous world. Unfortunately, sales has been hijacked by negative stereotypes and perceptions, and it's one of the oldest professions, yet it's talked about in such negative ways. So selling is about opportunity. It's the vehicle that opportunities can be realised, and it helps people to prosper. So we have decided to take a definite stand and present this as an alternative view and approach to selling in the 21st century.
Well, good for you, because, you read in the papers so often these days of, we don't need to mention them, but organisations that really haven't been practising good conduct in business, have they?
No, and yes, I mention them frequently in the articles that I write. I won't mention them now, but we do know that there's some large organisations out there, not just large, but those large ones are much more visible to the rest of us, who have had very poor governance, poor leadership. They've been very self-serving, and the customer has been left on the outer, and often vulnerable customers. And as Peter Drucker said, our first duty of care as a professional is to do no harm.
Okay, well, we'll just quickly go through some of the things in the manifesto, what you believe in. Yes. First one, we believe everybody lives by selling something. You said this before, Sue.
Oh, yes. It's if anyone knows our business, that is basically our belief. But it is true. It's a phrase coined by Robert Louis Stevenson, actually, back in the latter part of the 1800s. And he's kind of like our patron saint, because through observation, when you think about it, if you have an idea, a product, a service, an initiative, whether it's internally with your peers or your boss, or it's with customers or people in your community, if you want people to engage with that, you actually have to be able to sell it. And so when my eldest son was 11, he said to me, "Mum, I don't believe everybody lives by selling something." And I said, "Oh, that's interesting. Why did you say that?" And then he tried to explain and convince me and persuade me why it wasn't true. And I said, "But by the very nature of you trying to persuade and convince me, aren't you trying to sell me something?" And he went, "Oh, yeah." So I look at it as a life skill and capability, not just attached to someone called a salesperson.
Another belief, we believe selling is about a fair exchange of value. This is getting trickier.
Yes, it is getting trickier. And it's not just an idealistic hope that we would actually do honourable business with each other, but the best relationships work when there is openness and transparency and we work out how to help each other. It's just as important to know how to say no to something as it is to say yes. But there are many people that get ripped off, not just clients of salespeople, but many salespeople get ripped off because they don't know how to stand up for the value of what they do. But here's the interesting thing. This is not just some high ideal we can strive to. This is actually biologically hardwired into us. When we're born, we actually are born curious and we love helping people. So there's this actual genuineness about helping people, and we're also about fairness. We don't like it when things aren't fair. I mean, watch any little child and it's not fair. So there's something inherent in the biology of humans that actually fair is important and helping is important, but being curious as well and solving problems. So this is not just some, airy-fairy thing. This is actually biologically important to humans.
Of course, businesses are there to make a profit as well, so you've got to balance fairness and profit.
Yes, but profit for what purpose? And this is the thing, if we're just there to make profit at someone else's expense, we won't be in business much longer. In today's society, with transparency so open, boards and CEOs of organisations are the chief sales officers. They're the custodians of our intent out there.
Okay, and third belief, which ties in, we believe in long-term and sustainability.
That's right. I haven't met a business person yet who wants to go in business for a short period of time. Now, there's opportunities that you can obviously milk for all they're worth if that's what you wish, but the vast majority of people want to be in business for a long time. They want to do well, they want to achieve and succeed and leave a legacy. And so how do we do that with, the way the world is? Well, there's many variables. And so I think that if we start to factor in that long-term business planning, long-term initiatives, that is the way to go. It is now being proven that taking a longer-term approach and being careful how you manage and work with things is actually much more profitable. Short-termism is not a strategy, it's just a reaction.
Okay, now there are many other things that you talk about in your manifesto regarding selling better principles, probably a little bit too much to go into now, Sue. But if people want to find out more about your manifesto and this launch, what should they do?
Well, firstly, we have a website and it's sellingbetter.com. They can go there and they can actually see the manifesto, they can see the beliefs and what underpins them. They can also see the 12 guiding principles that they can adopt and start to put into practice in their organisation. Of course, we're available too to help them start to systemise that and put all those sorts of things in place. But it's out there. It's our declaration about an alternative sales model and philosophy that people can take forward that actually is going to help people and businesses sell better.
Okay, and if there was one final message that you'd like to give business operators, anybody in business, if we're all selling something anyway, not just the sales team, what would it be?
I want them to start talking about selling as a positive construct, something that everyone can engage with, and helping people not be frightened of the S word. Because then what you can do is start doubling, tripling and quadrupling your sales force overnight without having to put extra people on board, because you engage everyone in your business to support a Selling Better manifesto.
That was founder of Barrett Consulting Group, Sue Barrett. To find out more about the Selling Better Manifesto, you'll find the link in this episode's show notes. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.